going to be hotels used, but you still have people, because that will be a reality. You still have asylum seekers here. Looking at the numbers, looking at the difficulty of, as the Prime Minister repeatedly says, smashing the gangs. But what is it going to be? Is it going to be secure detention camps, or is it going to be putting asylum seekers into flats and accommodation?
Well, fundamentally, you have to address the problem at source. So you have to stop people coming here.
No,
I
accept that, but I'm also, as you are, I'm sure, a realist. And these people are here. There are thousands of them, and they are still coming. We know what those numbers are. So what are you going for? Are you going to, if you get rid of hotels, are you going for camps or are you going for flats?
Well, the fundamental point is about speeding up the process of making decisions about people's asylum status. The problem that we've inherited is that the previous government basically stopped making decisions about asylum. Their whole focus was on a hugely expensive Rwanda scheme, and that meant that there wasn't appropriate levels of resource going into the asylum processes. So we've shifted the resource that was being wasted on the Rwanda scheme, invested in it in ensuring that we are now able to take asylum decisions in a much more timely and effective method. And as I say, we've increased the number of decisions by 116%.
Which
so that is part of the way that we resolve this particular challenge.
It's important to know. But if we just look at a detail on this, an alternative are these large asylum seeker sites, like the former RAF base, Wethersfield in Essex. That's a site the Prime Minister pledged to close in the election campaign. But just a few weeks ago, the Conservative leader of that local area said the authority had been told that the current number of around 800 men at that site could rise to over 1,200. So are we moving from hotels to large bases and camps?
I accept the premise of the point that you're making, that there are no easy, simple solutions to resolving this very wicked problem. But the way in which we are best placed to resolve it is by reducing the inflow, by ensuring that fewer people...
I think everybody accepts that. It's just, what are we doing in the meantime? There's some time between now and 2029, which is the goal that you've set yourselves as a government.
Yeah, OK, so there are two bits to that. There's the bit that I've explained about speeding up the process of making decisions so that you then have fewer people to accommodate because you're making decisions about people and their status, some of which will be returned. But yes, I accept the point that you're making. We have to look, and we are looking, at alternative accommodation arrangements. But we have made that clear commitment. I'm confident that we'll be able to make it. Is it going to be easy? No, it isn't. But this government and the Home Office are absolutely committed to ensuring that we phase out the use of hotels.
For use of what instead?
For other more appropriate accommodation.
What is that, though? Other more appropriate accommodation? To quote you to yourself, what is it?
The reality is that there's likely to be a range of different arrangements in different parts of the country. And as I say, we're working through the detail of all of those. But that will be made.
What does that mean, though? There's only a few types of accommodation.
Yes, but I think there is a point of consensus that nobody, the previous government, this government, no commentators on this particular issue, think that hotels are the appropriate setting.
No, I think you made that point fulsomely. So what is the appropriate setting? You are a minister from the Home Office.
Yeah, so the appropriate setting will be a range of other different sort of sets of arrangements.
Can you
in
name
different parts of the country. Well, we are working through the options of what they might look like.
We've had a year.
We've had a year, and during that time, we've returned 35,000 people who didn't have a right to be here, and we've increased asylum decision-making by 116%.
Yeah, but you have to do more than one thing. This is an issue, a live issue now. We've had somebody on the programme this morning saying the First Council, Broxburn Council, saying they're going to seek legal advice whether they can now do the same. This problem's going to get bigger. It's a headache for your government. Could you at least answer just so specifically, if it's not hotels, as Security Minister, what is it?
It won't be hotels because of the commitment that we've made, and therefore it will have to be a range of other more appropriate accommodation. I mean, your point about the legal challenge is